Apart from efforts to develop vaccines for COVID-19, 2020 has been a year of substantial advancements in artificial intelligence and machine learning, technologies that are being applied in healthcare. While this transformative innovation is gaining popularity, successful healthcare entrepreneurs are making a valuable contribution to the national economies and also to the patient's healthcare system around the world. At MediCircle, we present to you the top CEOs of the healthcare series, where we are featuring healthcare CEOs who are influential role models to share their views about the future of the healthcare industry. Hi, I'm Smita Kumar, and today our guest for the talk is Mahendra Singh. Mahendra ji is the founder and CEO of Global Digi AI Health. He's an expert member for digital health, AI health, and telemedicine innovation, WHO Geneva. He's working with WHO partner, 30 countries, including India, in digital health, AI health, and telemedicine innovations. Mahendraji is a visionary, revolutionary serial digital health techpreneur with a strong 27 years experience as a most impactful global business leader and the space startup management guru. Mahindra is one of the world's top 30 most impactful digital health, AI health, and telemedicine innovation global business leaders. Hello, Mahindra ji. Welcome to MediCircle.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you and participating into this your good cause for bringing change in healthcare.
Shadi. So to begin with, there are three major challenges of the healthcare industry, like affordability, availability, and accessibility. What, according to you, is the solution to eradicate these issues?
Yeah, this is a very burning topic, I would say, not only in India, but all across the world. But I believe basically the problem is not just what is visible, but the problem has beneath much more bigger problem. So unless you solve the beneath much bigger problem, you cannot achieve the goal what you are targeting for fixing these three challenges. So in my opinion, I would say that first of all is the intent and or the will to fix these challenges. This is, I would say, the topmost important thing, which is missing at this moment. Because without intent, without good intent and will to fix this problem, you cannot achieve any you cannot fix any of these problems, right? So to achieve this, I would say uh, 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 basically it is not just three challenges, I would say, in healthcare system, but it is basically four challenges. So you need to add the fourth one also, because without that it is not basically going to help especially the patient. So the fourth one is quality health delivery.
Sure.
See, at the end of the day, if you are not delivering health quality, so whatever accessibility you are giving, whatever availability you are doing, providing as a government or as a provider or as as the governing stakeholder, so it will all be meaningless. So quality health also should be taken on the center stage into this whole challenges fixing. And so as I said, the bigger issue here is fixing the problems which is existing in the healthcare ecosystem. And healthcare ecosystem, first we need to fix it, because without fixing whatever technology, AI or digital or telemedicine or telehealth or whatever health you talk, these are all meaningless. Because especially in India, because India is not like Israel or any other small and rich country and developed countries like Korea and Singapore or like other those countries. In India is a large population country, and here this problem is not arisen today only. but it has arisen since last so many years, because nobody has given a thought why to fix problem, why to fix this problem, and come out with a novel solution, and with good intention, because that intention was always missing in last, I would say, post independence, right? So, and without intention, whatever you put in front, nothing is going to work. Say, what is technology? Technology is a vehicle. I have a Ferrari vehicle in with me. With that, I can go 200 kilometer per hour speed,
Yeah.
right? But in India, where is that kind of road? If any car is driving at this speed, then how many accident he will be doing per second basis? That you cannot imagine, right? So those safety level, those regulatory level, so all those things, they are basically the main contributor. It is not just technology. Huh? See, in our company, we have developed so many novel solutions using AI and digital health, but that is not sufficient. We require other stakeholders also to support us. So we need to basically work with all stakeholders to work together to basically bring change into this healthcare ecosystem. Unless that is done, we cannot achieve what we are actually looking for to fix these challenges. So first point, I would say, as you said, yes, the technology. So I also would say that yes, technology can fix the problem. So technology means it should be a next generation science and technology based solutions, innovation. And for those innovation, who can do those innovation can be done by some or the other startups. But what kind of ecosystem have been given to Indian startup? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So what kind of ecosystem is provided to digital health startup here? So
Yes.
that ecosystem itself is not built at all. So that has to be addressed, and for that, all stakeholders need to basically participate in that. Because what is happening now, that we are basically copying the startup concept from other countries,
Yes.
and copying and bringing as it is not actually going to solve the problem, and thereby you are not basically building the startup, but you are basically misleading the whole concept of startup ecosystem. Because see, I have seen startup in Israel. Israel is a startup nation. Why it is called as startup nation? Because they have done lot of exercise. They have seen its all ground realities and opportunities and risk and challenges. So there I have seen since last over 20 years that how Israel has built those startups. The kind of support, the kind of healthcare startup in Israel, the kind of support they get there, it is not at all here available.
Yes.
Right. To have a good startup ecosystem, we require a good funding agencies also to be in place. Good investors should be there. So where is the investor in healthcare? I'm not getting even single one. If anyone can tell that there is a digital health investor in India, they are basically misleading. In my experience, there is no investor in digital healthcare. Everyone is talking about edutech. Everyone is talking about fintech. You can see in last 1 year and many years how much investment has gone into fintech and e-commerce market. Why those investment has not come to healthcare?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you're not spending in healthcare, how you can improve the whole ecosystem?
Definitely.
Because we should not forget that if people's health, if people's health is not taken care, how the healthcare ecosystem can be improved?
Definitely.
It cannot be improved. And how economy can improve?
Sure.
Because to improve the economy, we have to support at the ground level. At the ground level means we have to support this startup ecosystem. And in startup, we have to get resources for creating the fund and moving the fund toward some good digital health and AI health kind of startup, so that those can be grown.
Platforms where these startups can actually share their ideas and also get fundings from different agencies.
Yeah, but that thing is not at all available.
Yes, I think there are a lot of healthcare startups here in India, but again, a lot of healthcare startups fail also.
No, they are, see, the problem is, see, I know hundreds of startup in healthcare in India, but you see how many of those founders are having experience in healthcare? None. The true fact and truth is none. So when none is there, why you are not supporting someone who has experience in the startup, in healthcare startup?
Sure.
Why you are ignoring that? And if you are ignoring that, how can you build a good startup India? You cannot build a good startup India if you do not support founders who have, tons of experience into building startups in healthcare.
And those who have actually lived those challenges and problems, so that they can offer better solutions.
Yeah. In my experience, I have built more than 16 global digital health startups in my 27 years of experience. Which is the founder in Indian digital health startup who has this kind of credibility, who has this kind of challenge, who has taken? None it is. None it is. And when it is none, then how can you build a good startup India? You cannot build a good startup India because you are just copying startup ecosystem from some other countries. That is not going to help anyone. You have to build as per our local challenges, as per our local problem, and that is that itself is totally missing.
Definitely.
See, we have created a startup from scratch to multi-million-dollar global startup I have created in my experience. But where is the investor? If we approach to investor, they are not at all listening. So, in my opinion, those investors should be banned basically from India, because those are writing in their website that they are a healthcare startup, and actually they are not at all healthcare startup. They are only trader. They only want to invest a trader startup, and trader startup cannot be a startup. If you want to learn from startup, first our people who are running the startup, they should see how startup are built in country like Israel, country like Singapore, country like Korea. You go there, how they are building. So that kind of ecosystem, startup ecosystem first need to be built, not just dumping money to some XYZ startup only, and not spending in deep tech startup.
Definitely. So Mahendraji, as you have spent more than like 27 years in this healthcare industry, so the journey has, I mean, you have been seeing a lot of things, like when AI and digital things were like a buzzword. What is AI and what is ML? What is digitalization in healthcare? So how has the journey been?
So I would say when I started into healthcare industry 27 years ago, in 1993. So that time, the concept of innovative health technologies and innovative digital health at all, that was not at all digested by anyone in healthcare system, because nobody has any clue about what is this digital health technologies. Yes. What this technology is going to fix problem, because everybody was thinking that in healthcare, for problem fixing is there are only two people. One is the hospital, other one is the pharma company's medicine. But nobody knows and have any idea about how the technology can fix this complex problem in healthcare system. So thereby I started learning and facing the pain points of hospitals, pain points of doctor, pain points of patient. So thereby I have from learning, I made more than 400 POCs. I develop novel product and solutions using digital health and AI health in my own company, which is in our Global Digi AI Health and Benevimed Healthcare.
Okay.
Right. So there we have done all this after doing deep research, medical research work in medical research work in AI research in digital health and research in risk management and business management, how to commercialize and how to monetize these technology and solutions into different local settings.
Charlie. So since those days, as I mean, the healthcare industry has seen a lot of changes, especially due to COVID. There were a lot of things that were earlier not there or there but not practiced, like telemedicine, teleradiology. And along with that, there are different kinds of changes that the healthcare industry has embraced now. So being there in this industry for so long, what according to you would be the future of the healthcare here in India?
Yeah, so future wise, if you see, there is lot of hopes, there is lot of potential, there is lot of business opportunities is there enabling these technologies, because technology is at the end of the day, they are basically the enabler in healthcare. We can fix many complex problems in healthcare using these digital health and AI health technologies. But at the end of the day, what is missing is the people, the subject knowledge people, the domain expertise people. They are missing. They are not at all available here. That is the biggest shortage.
Okay.
That is the biggest shortage, because unless you know the subject from a medical point of view or from the AI health point of view, you cannot fix the problem. Just knowing AI is not at all going to fix any problem. You have to have the complete involvement into all these stakeholders knowledge and domain expertise. And when you are working together, then you are able to deliver a meaningful product and solutions, which is going to be basically empower the doctor, hospitals, government, and the patient, to basically to everyone.
Definitely. Now a quick one on the spending, like how is India spending on the healthcare? Like India's total healthcare spending is at 3.6% of GDP, which is very less compared to the other developed countries. So do you think it's high time India needs a generous amount of spending in the healthcare sector?
Yeah, yeah, that is true. See, in my opinion, instead of 3.6, it should be something like 10% of the GDP should be spent into healthcare, the complete healthcare ecosystem. But I would basically recommend, before we open this, from 3.6% to 10%, first we need to basically fix these problems which are existing in our healthcare ecosystem. Because if you are not fixing these problems, that means we already have so many holes.
Yes.
So many holes means whatever you are pouring money in terms of investment, in terms of budgeting, annual budgeting. So because of these holes, all will get drained out. And the increase in budget is basically not going to help the patient at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Because the purpose of increasing the budget would be to basically help the patient, because ultimately all this money is coming from the pocket of patient, not from anyone else. Right. So if patient is not getting the full benefit out of this increase of the budget, then how this is going to benefit?
Shalin. So thank you so much, Mahendraji, for sharing the significant information about the healthcare environment and the changes that the healthcare industry is seeing with all our viewers today. As a dedicated healthcare media portal, through this initiative, we hope that we are able to inspire more and meet more people through your valuable and insights about the healthcare ecosystem, which you have experienced along, spending so many years in the healthcare and starting right from the words, digitalization and AI and ML, while those were like buzzwords, and now we are actually trying to implement those things into the Indian healthcare ecosystem. So thank you once again for joining us at MediCircle here today.
Thank you, Smitaji. Thank you. My great pleasure in this participation, and I would wish you all the best because in our healthcare there is no media which basically raise voice in healthcare. Raise voice basically for patient, for doctor, for hospital. So I think MediCircle is doing a really great job, and I would say that yes, you should come out with more and more this kind of I would say topic related topic related in healthcare for raising the voice in healthcare, and we as a top CEO, we should be voice of healthcare. Because unless there is a strong participation from top to bottom level, we cannot bring changes in healthcare ecosystem.
Definitely. So very well said, Mahendraji. Once again, thank you for joining us, and thank you so much for sharing such insightful views, because we need to think from the grassroots level and rather paint a rosy picture. We should be working
yes,
on
yes.
Actually
Correct,
the
correct.
end user of the healthcare system, which is the patient, is ultimately benefited, and he or she is taking the best benefits of digitization in health. Thank you so much.
Correct, correct. Yeah, thank you. My pleasure. Yeah.